What's going on, family? How y'all doing out there? This is episode 16 of the Pharaohs Podcast. I'm your host, Solomon. I am joined always by Mr. What's Good himself, Israel.
What's good?
And you know it got to be a doctor in the house because we got Luke in the building.
What's going on, everybody?
Yo, what is going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
How y'all week been so far?
It's been hectic. It's been busy, hectic. What's today? It's Wednesday?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think yesterday I was trying to figure out what day of the week it was. Cause I'm like, man, which job I gotta work? Is it Saturday? I woke up late. And yeah, it was one of them days, man. One of
Man,
them days.
the days be getting slipping away from us, man. Like when you busy and you working all the time, and I know Luke, you got the girls, it's always a busy time. We ain't never lacking on the work we got to do around here.
Nah, definitely agreed. Yeah, it's always busy. But my week it's been good. Just keeping everything moving, enjoying this last little bit of heat that's gonna be out here before the winter time start coming in. So all's been well.
Last little bit of heat.
But I want to
Last
know
little
when. I'm trying to figure out when it's gonna calm down here in Atlanta because it's hot.
Fall is upon us. It's
Mm.
September right around the corner, man. I don't know, probably second week of September is what I'm gonna say. Because
Boy,
that's when it start getting a little chilly out. Uh,
well, it's hot. That's all I'm gonna say.
5 minutes.
It's hot. It's hot. Well, fellas, I mean, for me, same thing. Like I say, just busy, 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 working and trying to get some things together when it comes to the podcast and just continuously trying to grow. And I got a shout out again, the Jermaine Brooks for his book, A Journey Through Real Life Poetry, which is out now. On Amazon, and yeah, he been hitting me up, so I got to keep on pushing it, y'all, pushing it for him. Like how we said last week on the podcast, it's all about getting that support, and don't even worry about it. Just keep on working your land, and boom, some magic things gonna
mm-hmm.
happen. Magical thing.
Absolutely.
All right, fellas. So let's dive into the first topic. Let's dive into the first topic. So we got Hulk Hogan saying his piece during
Mm-hmm.
the presidential race, of course. I'm a big wrestling fan. I do, like, for the viewers out there, I do like wrestling. I'm up to date with certain things. There was certain parts of my childhood where I stopped watching, but now I'm back, full fledged WWE fan. They've been selling out arenas. They got some stuff coming to Atlanta around my birthday, so I might have to go to a show, y'all. I have to go to a show. But Hulk Hogan has some interesting things to say, and I'm just gonna play the clip for everybody. And I'm gonna ask this question because I know people are wondering about Hulk Hogan. All right. So here you go.
His hair was perfect. You want to get crazy? You want me to throw more beers out? You want me to body slam somebody? You want me to body slam Kamala Harris? I said you want me to body slam Kamala Harris? You want me to drop the leg on Kamala? Is Kamala a chameleon? Is she Indian?
All right. So Hulk Hogan, as y'all see in that clip, Hulk Hogan has been basically, I guess, doing some press run, or doing some things in front of a crowd talking, and TMZ caught him on candid camera asking the crowd, should he body slam Kamala Harris? Now, I'm not gonna answer that question. I'm not gonna ask y'all that. If y'all want to answer that, y'all can. But my question here for the Pharaohs podcast is, should there be some consequences and repercussions for him saying that he wants to body slam the vice president of the United States?
Nah, I think they should just make it a thing now, where it's like, oh, he calling out the presidential candidate or president elect, and then she gets somebody that come on her behalf, like, oh, you want to body slam somebody, they make a whole thing of it, and then they end up body slamming him instead, and then she come back, do something, but she don't get body slammed. If she could, like, hey, that'd be something else too, but at this point, do it for the views, for the press.
So you saying they should get into a ring and
They
just
should get
act
into
like
the ring and act like it's about to happen, but somebody come out of nowhere and then body slam Hulk Hogan.
what do you think about that, Luke?
Yeah, make a whole show.
Yeah, and I mean, of course, there should be no repercussions for what he said. I mean, one is satire. Everybody knows. That's his whole profession. He's a wrestler, even a retired wrestler, but it's satire. It's part of the performance. So it's not that deep. Very entertaining. Him being an advocate of the right, it kind of makes sense. It's to me, it's like it's humor. But you know how they gonna take it a little extra. Some people going. Well, I don't really think everybody really took it too bad. I haven't really heard too much about it like that. But no repercussions. It's Hulk Hogan. He just going. He playing the character.
Well, a lot of people are again saying basically, he's saying this about another black person again. Back in the past, he had allegations of him being a racist, certain things that he constantly says in conversations and things of that nature. Is this another like incidence of him just being a racist, or is this really just, as you say, just entertainment? Just talking about what's hot right now, like how we doing?
I mean, it could be. I don't know if he's racist. Could be. At the end of the day, in certain situations, yeah, you do have to hold people accountable for the influence that they withhold on a crowd. I get that. But in instances like that, that's gonna always be you never really know. Unless you can catch him again saying something. For all we know, he may not like black people. I mean, you never really know. But in the instance of this just seemed more like it's a presidential debate now. The candidates are not. It's two candidates. So here come the cartoons, here come the comedy shows, here come the skits. Everything is going to start coming out now. So to me, it's just seems
How old is Hulk Hogan?
How old is Hulk Hogan?
in like 60s.
He old.
You need to go somewhere retired. He probably is racist.
He's 71.
Depending on how it is.
71.
Yeah, I'm sure he still got some racistness up in him.
Well, there's another thing going on. Like they're trying to the Donald Trump's team and Kamala Harris's team is trying to set up their debate for September 11th. But right now, both of the sides can't come to a agreement of what the rules of the debate going to be. Donald Trump's team wants the same rules as just how it was when it came to Joe Biden's debate. And then Kamala's trying to kind of change it a little bit with maybe make it an open forum. Maybe they can unmute the mics so that when one is talking, then another one can interrupt them. Right now, both sides are trying to they're trying to come to a way where they can have the debate this coming September, but right now it's looking like they haven't decided on it yet.
They're looking at little semantics. Like, just if you can't decide, just keep it as it is. At this point, they both doing it for entertainment. Because why you want to change the rules?
That's what Donald Trump asking. Why we changing the rules? I could just debate you
That's what
just
he
like
asked.
how I did Joe Biden. I don't
I'm
understand
right.
what's the.
I'm right. Why you want to change the rules?
She's also asking to bring in notes. Remember, she's a former prosecutor, so Donald Trump is more of a like a freestylist. He speaks from his mind, and I guess Kamala gonna try to bring the receipts for his ass.
Yeah, that's probably what she doing because she don't know the exact numbers. But if she got the paperwork, then she could boom, 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 boom. Then she gonna win off the bat. But yeah,
Well,
that's interesting.
from what I heard, it's mainly because she don't think she's gonna be able to hold weight against him, which I know she not. He's gonna destroy her in the debate. One,
Whoa,
cognitively.
wait a minute, hold
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
Wait
There's
a
something.
minute. You think she gonna
He's gonna
destroy him in a debate?
no. He's going to destroy her in the debate.
Okay. Why do you
That's
say that? That's interesting.
because we're talking about two different levels of cognitive ability and debating styles. So Kamala Harris, like you said, she was a former prosecutor and she's a blabbler. That's just if there was a debate team with 3 people on it, she wouldn't be one of the people in a debate team who you would actually debate. She could be a researcher. She's not good at form. She's never been. And even throughout all of her vice presidency, she's never really did that good. They've been getting on her now about how she's constantly changing her views and all of that. Donald Trump gonna be able to keep up. This is why I say he's old, but he's very like the level of knowledge you have to remember all of this stuff. I don't really take that like, yeah, they old white men, but they're very intelligent. Politics is not easy. If it was easy, everybody would get into it. It would be the norm. It's like something you have to really look into, focus, study the polls, keep up with the polls, make sure your information is correct. All of these different things have to be done. So Kamala Harris in the debate, it's going to be funny. It's going to be hilarious. It's going to be a whole bunch of her talking and not really saying much of nothing. I hate to say it that way, but it's just the truth. She would be the person who's the researcher. Go watch The Great Debaters. Everybody went on the stage. So I don't know how she's going to be able to get through a debate with Trump.
I mean, but I believe that they need one. I mean, Israel, I know you talked about it when they first when Joe Biden first dropped out, that you was the first person on the podcast to say, hey, they need to do a debate. So I think it still needs to happen. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna go as far as say that she gonna get smoked by Donald Trump. I ain't gonna say that far because I don't know what she'll pull out her bag. I don't know what type of bag she even got. But I do know what type of bag Donald Trump got. And Donald Trump, I'm not saying that he don't know what he doing, because like I say, I know what type of bag he got, and he gets in his bag when necessary.
Yeah, I'm surprised they ain't have a debate sooner. Like they should have got that ASAP. Like boom, debate like every other week or something. How many debates are they supposed to have?
I don't know the exact number, but I
don't
know
know
they
if it's
need one
3.
because
They should have started.
this is a new person in the race.
Yeah, they should have started probably like 2 or 3 weeks after she decided she wanted to be a presidential candidate. They were like, all right, boom, we finna put y'all in the debate.
He definitely said that she's in his words and Donald Trump words, he said she's unintelligent. She can't debate him. So he's already been kind of throwing jabs at her already publicly.
That's why this debate is just going to be even more interesting. It's not a thing about it that's anything to do with how she looked or none of that. That's not how this works. Like, this is why I always say I like politics, because we could be talking about a green person from Mars. If they're competent and able to express themselves and their ideas and what they want and their agenda, it's about who can express their agenda the best. Everybody be talking about, oh, because she a woman and she black. There ain't nobody care about that. It doesn't matter who the words are coming from. They're still words. You have to learn to master them in order to win the president's seat. That's just how this works. The one who masters his agenda and being able to, or her agenda and being able to express it, lobbying the people up, would be the one that wins. But that's literally one of her biggest weaknesses. The only reason she was in the White House is because she was put on the ticket. It had nothing to do with that. Joe Biden had been in the high levels of politics for a long time before we ever heard about Kamala Harris. So now to strip him away, you just take a baby and you just throw him in the street and they can't even walk yet. Now you think they finna be able to keep up with all the cars? That's why I'm like, I get why she keep pushing it back.
Do y'all think because of the whole them Joe Biden dropping out at the last minute and them electing Kamala, you think that hurts her chances of winning because she's a last minute draw or person on the ticket?
I say no. I say the only thing that's hurting her right now is the fact that we don't know what her agenda is. Throughout the whole Democratic convention, all they talked about was how powerful and all of this. That's not a political strategy. Even CNN said that. They said all that sound good, all that lovey-dovey stuff sound nice, but that's not a political strategy. That's the only thing that's holding her back. It ain't got nothing to do with what she looked like or none of that. They have to come up with a political strategy in order to be worthy of even less thinking that she's gonna have a chance against him. If not, I'm putting my money on the landslide election.
The votes are close, I'm hearing. And that's why talking about your boy Luke, what is his name? Robert Kennedy. He
endorsed Trump.
He endorsed Trump now, and he's telling all his voters, the ones make sure don't vote for him at all. They said he's taking his name off all of those ballots, and he's only just gonna have his name still on like the states that the smaller states. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but his name is still there. But everywhere else, his name is off the ballot. He's not telling his voters to vote for Donald Trump. He's just telling everybody that that's where he decided to go on the side of Trump. And now that they're taking away everybody else now. They're taking away my boy Carnell West too. Like they taking all of the ones that's on the outside, the independents and everybody like that. They're taking them off because they're saying that they need every single vote between Trump and Kamala because they feel like it's going to be very close.
It is. Yeah, it's gonna be close. All elections are close. Even with what the polls are saying now. He's still ahead. And it wasn't a big shoot up after her announcement came out. That's why I still feel like it's just still a solid foundation that's being made. There's always that small percentage of swing states that really determine. And of course, that's where they're going to put a lot of their energy into. Swing, states like Pennsylvania and stuff like that. They're going to put a lot of energy into those states because they got to try to win them over.
Right.
But I don't know, because let's say Kamala was running and she hadn't already had 4 years as vice president, I think she would have a better chance. It's because there's been 4 years of ammo that Trump has now. 4 years of ammo he has. This is why I'm like, I don't know if she's going to be able to survive this.
I was going to ask
too much bad stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that, dude. So, like, are we going to examine the last 4 years of what we just had with Kamala, even though she was VP? What'd you say to that, Israel? Is that gonna work against her? You think Trump gonna use that?
To a certain extent, yeah. I definitely would.
Well, y'all got to think about it. At one point, Kamala said she wasn't for the wall. Now she for the wall. This is what Donald Trump.
Yeah, so it's a lot of
Yeah, she kind of go back, and I think the reason she's starting to do that, y'all, is because a lot of his policies make sense. Again, it don't matter if the person was blue. Does the policy make sense? So somebody probably getting in her ear and telling her, look, you need to kind of pick up on some way you're talking about, because people want to hear you talk about how you're going to fix the country. They don't like the state of the country right now. So if you can get on board with that, you probably be able to pull some people who already like you. You're just not talking about what they want to hear.
Right, because this some clips where she's saying the same thing Donald Trump's saying, where she like raising wages of restaurant workers, raising tips or something like that, or just wages, and that's something he fighting for already. And this clips of her talking about the same thing. So at this point, it's like they both want the same thing. It's just, do you want Trump up in there, or do you want Kamala in there?
Mm.
That's what it's coming down to.
I don't know, y'all. This it's getting scary. It's getting scary because we getting close and everybody's pulling out, and then now they joining forces with another candidate, and it's getting kind of scary. But I mean, in a perfect world, if we had somebody who actually was trying to have the backs of the people for real, then we have a clear cut like political choice for our country. But I'm gonna say, since I got out of high school, bro, I've been paying attention to politics and the people that have been running. I'm gonna say, for me, definitely, I thought Obama deserved it in my young mind, in my stage that I was at the time, because I wanted to see somebody of another nationality become president. And this day and time of 2024, that conversation is different. We don't care about how you say, Luke. We don't care if you blue or green. Like, we don't care about that no more. Obama set the tone for that. Now we're trying to figure out, what can you actually do for our country, especially during these uncertain times, the rise of AI, the rise of all of these new vaccines. What are we going to do as a country, and inflation? What are we going to do to change the narrative?
Right. At this point, I don't care who it is. Just like that, I care that do they have my best interests? Like, are they doing what I want? It don't matter if they Democrat or Republican, but are they for what I want to be for? Are their views some things that I view, and that's what they need to look at, versus like Democrat, Republican, like, nah, do I agree with this or no? That
Yeah,
part. That's what
I
it
mean,
should be.
the DOJ. I mean, most of these are corrupt organizations. We've always known that. I think what always gave Trump his edge in the game of politics is that he's hard to control. So when people are going to the polls and that's in the back of their mind, who can I vote for who is not easily controlled by people who I can't see? I don't know these people in the shadows. Everybody's not in Washington. Everybody don't have time for all of that. People are running their lives. So selecting the president, we're now in the stage now where we're thinking about who can we really trust, who won't bend over to the establishment, who won't bend over to the bureaucrats who are always trying to push things in that have nothing to do with the people. That's kind of always been his edge, because he don't care nothing about that. And I mean, I'm not surprised so many black people like him now. I'm not, because like I always said, Obama was a very nice black man. He spoke very well, but you couldn't get no money out of him. You could not, unless you was somebody from another country, you could, but we couldn't get no money out of it. You don't never notice that somebody's hand is closed until another person walk up to you and open their hand. That's when you realize that the other person is just like stingy. I always ask, why as black people did we get so much money with Trump? I'm not talking about money like, oh, I feel sorry for you money. I'm talking about black leaders set up meetings and put the work in and got the funding that they needed. That's not a handout. That's black leaders going into there and said, look, President, this is what my people need. This is how we've organized our plan. This is our mission. Can you help us get the funding? No problem. Why was that so hard to do? Why do we have to wait 8 years just to get a little bread so we can put it into our foundations and our funding? This is why I say I think he's going to win, because everybody going to keep thinking about that. The blacks, the Asians, the Indians.
Right.
You know, I don't know. It's kind of hard to beat that. So,
I'm going to say when it comes to
Hey.
Obama, everybody's going to, we could do a whole just one podcast episode about that. But I'm going to just like keep it really just short and sweet. A lot of people are going to say, well, Obama, what could he do? He's a black man and he couldn't do anything and his hands was tied and we were coming from Bush when he first got in office and blah blah blah. They're going to make so many excuses why he couldn't do nothing. And it was like, look at all those years before him of all of these same presidents, and what do you think he was going to be able to do in 8 years? And to that, I'm going to say we're going to stop the excuses. That's what I'm going to say to those people. I could go deeper into it. Time won't allow this episode, but if y'all really want a deep dive on us going in on Obama, just let us know in the comment section. Because we can really unpack his 8 years. Like I say, at the time,
Yeah.
at the time when he first was coming, it was like, yeah, you know, something different changed. The first black man to be able to be, you know, so-called president of the United States. It was all emotion. His election was emotion of black people. It was pulling on the heartstrings of black people to see something different.
Who was he running against? Some Gore? Gore's
I think he ran against
Mitt
Mitt
Romney.
Romney. I think
He
that was
ran
his
against-
first one.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mitt Romney. I mean, like I say, I agree with you, Solomon. The excuser got to go. That man, if you really break down his presidency, oh my gosh. Even if we ain't even talking about black people, you just look at the way that it went. It's like, oh, you stop wanting to look into it. You start wanting to, let's just change the subject. Because as you chronically start going down the line, you'd be like, God, that's what he did. He sure did do that, didn't he?
This is an unpopular opinion on this podcast.
Oh, yeah, very unpopular.
Because everybody else loves Obama.
They gonna be mad at us. But that man got blood on his hands. And again, that's a part of the job. A part of the job is making hard decisions. But what weighs if you're capable of doing the job is how many hard decisions you had to make and how many good outcomes came out of your hard decision. It's still a calculation that's done when you're a leader or a CEO or a president. You can't just do what you want to do and then think, oh, no, it don't work that way. We're going to start calculating how many times you messed up, how many times we had to trust you and you didn't come through. Do we expect it to be 100% time? No, of course not. This is why I say Kamala is in a situation, bro. These past 4 years have been a very interesting 4 years. And unfortunately for her, she's kind of hipped onto Joe Biden. She's on his hip. So anything he did, she's going to get blamed for because she's a part of the administration.
Yeah. Well, only I know some people are like, you know, let's just not blame her because, you know, she was the vice president and she wasn't the president. Well, in a fairy tale world, people are going to excuse that. But because she is part of the team and she's part of the what they say, the cabinet, right?
Yeah, part of the GOP.
Since you part of that, you know, Kamala, you gonna get some of that heat for that.
One band, one sound. That's all.
Well, fellas, speaking of fairy tales, man, it was an interesting topic. So Cam Newton, you know, the football player, has got his own podcast now. And he had a bit of a heated argument with Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. And it's a 2-hour and 32-minute long interview. It's really good, very insightful. She's a psychologist. She's an author. So she has done a lot of her own type of research. She has came from the ground up, as she likes to say in the interview. And I just want to know, like, the why the internet is crazy right now. Like, they
Very
have
much
a
so.
problem with every single thing. Like, but I want to just show this clip real quick, just of a little piece of the interview and the conversation. There's a couple of things I want to touch on, but she described this situation in one of her counseling sessions of breaking down the fairy tales that women have when it comes to marriage. Just listen to this
Mm.
real.
They are giving their all and trying their best, but it looks different to her. And so learning how to read and communicate, Cam, what does it mean when you text me randomly throughout the day and just say, "What are you doing?" Is that a message? Does that "What are you doing?" Is that a message where you're just trying to tell me, "Baby, I love you," but you didn't say the words? So if I know that "What are you doing" means I love you, as your wife, the Bible says, "Love you by knowledge of you," not understanding, knowledge. I now know how to code that. So that helps me not personalize, but you ain't doing it my way. But you didn't say, "I love you." And you saying, "But baby, I say what you're doing, and that means I love you." So my clients have helped me dissipate my ego. And they have helped me not only gain a sense of self, but understand the different languages that men can speak. Also, it's allowed me to have more compassion and break my fairy tale ideology that women have. I always say this: men get married and become a father and go, "Oh, shoot. Okay, I didn't know it was going to take all of this. Game time. Let me try to figure this out. Let me try to see if I can do this and do that and get the card and do this and love her more and balance all this." Women, we meet you and we're like, our idea and our fairy tale is you are Prince Charming, honey. And then we try to get you to fit Prince Charming. And the more you don't fit it, the more y'all end up in my office going, "But he doesn't do this." Well, has he ever did it? No, but I always just thought my husband would. Your husband or this man? So are you getting to know who you with? Or are you making this man fit this fairy tale ideology that doesn't even exist anyways?
All right, fellas. Woo! It's
That's it.
it's, it's a lot to unpack, but that first little part of that clip, y'all. I want y'all to
I'm gonna have to
answer
go
that.
back and watch the whole
Yeah,
thing.
you gotta watch the whole thing. It gets good. It gets real good. But that part right there of women having a fairy tale husband in their mind, how true do you think that is? And before we answer that question, we got to take a quick break. We got to take a quick break, family. But when we come back, the Pharaohs is going to answer that question. We'll be right back.